Hannah McKay, in theory, is the perfect love interest for Dexter. She's blonde, crazy, and has killed people. Not only does she accept both sides to the man, she's the only person to call out how corny the dark passenger sounds.
Dark what?
Aside from having a few teeny tiny flaws, it's come to my attention a lot of the fandom despise her. So as always, I'm making a video on it. When we're first introduced to Hannah, it's outside her greenhouse, which right off the bat is giving me Poison Ivy vibes. See what I did there? Anyway, Angel and Dexter come to question her about Wayne Randall, a serial killer she went on tour with when she was 15. She claims to be a victim of Wayne's, but it is revealed she was responsible for one casualty. After this discovery, Dexter takes Hannah on what she thinks is a date, but instead it's a trap. On the table, he can't seem to kill her because she's too hot. I know two people who would do the same thing, me and you. Later, the two agree that the event was a one-time thing, but this promise doesn't last long. Sometime after, Hannah poisons Sal Price, a crime writer, for blackmailing her into an interview which would have incriminated her. Deb knows without a doubt Hannah was responsible and begins an obsession to bring her to justice, going as far as asking Dexter to do what he does. He obviously can't, since he's now seeing Hannah, and I'm not gonna explain the bullshit that happens next.
I went to the church that night that you killed Travis Marshall to tell you that I'm in love with you.
Hannah gets kidnapped by Isaac Serco, the villain of season 7, forcing Dexter to kill 2 hitmen attempting to take his life. While trying to escape from her captor, Hannah is stabbed but later saved by Deb, who reluctantly calls the ambulance. Dex arrives relieved Hannah is okay and says he's only ever felt fear like this before when his mother died. Not long after, Hannah's father, Clint McKay, is released from jail, insisting he is a better man but needs 20,000 big ones to start his crawfish business. After Hannah politely refuses, he drives his truck through her garden and greenhouse, claiming it was a drunken rage. Since his daughter won't pay up, he blackmails Dexter, demanding dosh in exchange for not telling the police Hannah poisoned a counselor in front of a witness. The sad thing is, the money's for gambling debts, not his business, and he's already told the police everything. So Dex meets him and kills the little grass, returning to Hannah, letting her know he won't be a problem anymore. This action leads Hannah to confess her love for Dexter, where he surprisingly matches her energy. Hannah then visits Deb to make peace, but it's clear that will never happen. So Hannah poisons Deb, almost taking her life, but luckily, she survives. Hearing the news, Dexter initially thinks Deb took too much Xanax, but she's certain it was Hannah. I don't know about you, but I actually believe Deb sabotaged herself and Hannah was innocent, but sadly, she was guilty. To protect his sister, Dex turns her into the police for the murder of Sal Price. Hannah is charged with first-degree murder, but escapes due to a staged encounter with her friend, where she's able to take a pill and have a seizure. Once free, she leaves a plant outside of Dexter's apartment as a final goodbye. From then, Hannah goes to Miles Kastner, a wealthy businessman who was previously attracted to her. For safety, she marries him, gaining a new identity, but soon realizes how obsessive he is. She returns to Miami so Dexter would kill her husband for her, but due to Miles getting out of control, she does it herself. Hannah rekindles with Dexter, and for the remainder of season 8 is a sitting duck. She wants to leave and move to Argentina with Harrison and his daddy, but is waiting on Saxon to be killed. In the end, Hannah gets a happy ending, but is forced to raise Harrison alone because of the apparent death of Dexter Morgan. She raised him for 7 years in Argentina before dying of cancer. If there's one thing we can all agree about Hannah, it's the fact that Dexter is infatuated by her. Out of every love interest, the writers make it painfully clear that this woman throws Dexter off his game completely. It's not to say the two don't share chemistry. I believe all Dexter's love interests do, but it's hard to ignore how badly they shove this love down all of our throats. Even from her introduction, Dexter for the first time is nervous around a woman, and later gets intimate on the table. There is clearly something about her he can feel, but wouldn't it make sense for him to feel this after they truly connected? I'm no writer, but a few scenes rearranged would sell Dexter not killing Hannah. Let's say in Dexter fashion, Dexter reveals himself as someone who has killed before to satisfy his urges. This is still in character since he shared his true self with a victim ahead of the deed many times before. We would get the same dark passenger moment where she calls him corny and how it's a lame excuse for him to be himself. Whether I'm reaching or not, Dexter not killing Hannah on the table shouldn't have appeared to be because of attraction, but instead hints of the connection the two share. That was the intention, but the execution wasn't there. If you think about it, Dexter takes two huge leaps of faith when not killing Hannah twice. The first time, it's quite obvious she is a contradiction to the code. She's a serial killer who poisons people who could poison him and later poisons his sister, but we'll get to that in a second. The point is, Hannah on paper before her sympathy backstory is an objectively bad person who shouldn't have ended up with Dexter. But because her father was a deadbeat, she had a miscarriage and only kills when she's wronged or in self-defense, she is deemed redeemable. However, the one thing she did that should have sealed her fate was her poisoning Deb. Dexter does noticeably hand Hannah to the police when he finds out the truth, but him later ending up with her, many believe to be a mischaracterization. We're talking about the same man who killed his blood brother, who was just like him to save his sister, ending up with a serial killer who tried to kill his sister. This I do believe is an irredeemable act, something that is done to defend herself from being incarcerated, but also something she denies to Dexter. It's a slap in the face to Deb, but it's only okay since she's literally jealous of the relationship and is still in love with Dexter. Disgusting. These leaps of faith ultimately pay off, but seem to be a result of a lot of luck and plot convenience. After all, Hannah does become the superior love interest. If you're new here, I don't hate every character we cover, and in this case, I do not hate Hannah. I believe, like a few others, she is Dexter's best love interest. For one, she, unlike Rita, knows the other side to Dexter, which means she knew the real him. Lila is crazy, and Lumen left too soon, but Hannah is the culmination of all women. Don't get me wrong, Rita is the most important woman, because without her, Dexter would lack humanity. Lila was important because she showcased perfectly the Dexter effect, and Lumen's purpose was redemption for Dexter after the death of Rita. The payoff and strength of Hannah is the fact that she understood Dexter and never left. She also was able to call him out on his BS and debunk the dark passenger before it stupidly came back again. Most importantly, she loved and raised Harrison for 7 years. Say what you want, but out of every woman, Hannah held it down when she didn't have to. It's hard because both sides of liking and hating Hannah makes sense, and maybe a change in how season 8 ended would fully solidify her as a great character. What if she returned as an antagonist alongside Saxon after season 7? It would add a threat to the final season and easily coincide with the writers further humanizing Dexter, as although he loves Hannah, she would have to go. Simpler, and something I would have liked to see is Dexter go away with her and Harrison to Argentina. I guess it is a happy ending. Maybe the two don't deserve it, but across 8 seasons, it would have been nice to see a complete character arc for Dexter, since currently the writers have him going in circles. Hannah McKay is an interesting character with flaws that I do believe is rightfully hated for poisoning Deb. To me, she is the superior love interest, but the execution could have been better if Dexter being obsessed with her wasn't violently shown to us. I get it, she's blonde, but have some composure. Yvonne, if you're watching this, please give me a chance. It's a shame Hannah is written off so easily in Dexter New Blood by Clyde Phillips, who, by the way, does this when these characters do not belong to him. To me, she's important. To me, she is Dexter's best love interest. But what do you guys think? Do you hate her? Do you love her? Please let me know down in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, follow the first rule of the code and subscribe. It may seem small to you, but it means the world to me. Have an amazing day.